Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to do something Texy-Mexy. I'm going to make beef fajitas. So I kind of assumed that fajitas have been around forever, but they haven't. They were in the 1930s, vaqueros, cowboys working on ranches in Texas would get paid partly in meat, so they'd get like the bits of the coup that nobody else wanted, like the head and the innards and that, and also the skirt or flank steak, which apparently was not available to the general public at that time, which is weird because it was wonderful. But they kept it to themselves and they would cook it up with peppers and, you know, make a butty out of it with flour tortillas or corn tortillas. But in 1969, somebody started selling them commercially at like an agricultural fair, and they were very well received and became immensely popular thereafter. So there you go. Anyway, bit of history for you. If you enjoy this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, etc. And let's go on with it. Beef fajitas. Alright, ingredients for the fajitas. I've got 250 grams of actually rump steak, but it should be skirt or flank if you can get a hold of that. It's not hard, I just went to the wrong supermarket. An onion, a red bell pepper and an orange one, and actually a bit of the green one. Last time I used peppers, I criticised the inclusion of this in your standard multi-pack, and many people said they liked that one best, so there you go, lovely yellow pepper. And some oil to cook it in. The meat needs to be marinated for between 1 and 4 hours, so for that you want the juice of a lime, a minced clove of garlic, some sea salt or kosher salt, some ground black pepper, some cayenne pepper and some ground cumin. Also, I've accumulated a load of chilies and I should really start using them, or like half teaspoon of chili powder. So I'll juicify the lime first. And add about the same quantity of evu. Mince the garlic and add that. Deseed the chilies. Unless you enjoy a ton of chili heat, which obviously I do not. Chop them fine. Put those in the marinade, and the red ones as well. Half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, except this is virtually empty. And half teaspoon of ground cumin. Pinch of salt, and a good old grind of black pepper. Okay, just mix it all together and pop the steak in. Turn it over, get it coated, and I'll pop that in the fridge for an hour or two, maybe turn it over halfway through. Okay, while we're waiting for the marinating to happen, I'm going to make some salsa. Not dancing, not salsa verde, it's salsa roja, which is red salsa. So tomatoes, a little red onion, a bit of chili and coriander. So choppy choppy. This onion has seen better days, but it'll be alright. Actually, it might be more accurate to call this pico de gallo, because the ingredients are chopped, not minced or blended. So I chopped up the little chilies as well. Now I'll dice the tomatoes. So I'll whack those in. They were not the ripest tomatoes on the planet, unfortunately. But here we are in deepest midwinter in northern England, and our greenhouse supply has run out, and this is what we're left with. Finally chop your coriander, cilantro. Put that in. And I'm just going to give a little squirt of tomato passata just to give it more juiciness. Let's have a little taste. That's nice. A little bit of salt, I think. And some pepper. Set that aside for the tomatoes to kind of macerate a little bit and soften. Cut the top and bottom off. And then cut down the sides, and then you can just cut them into strips. And we also want to cut the onion into half moons would be the thing. So now it's time to cook up some things. We'll start by heating some oil in a pan. Ideally you'd probably do this on a grill or a barbecue, but you know, it's chucking it down out there, it's not happening. When that's kind of smoking, put the steak in and cook it for 4 minutes on each side. Then take it out and put it on a warmed plate, tent in foil to rest until we're ready for it. And then we'll put the onions in the pan. I'm only using half of what I prepared earlier because I'm only going to do, well, 2 or 3 fajitas right now. Put the onions in, let them cook till they're softened, that will take about 5 minutes. Then add the peppers and the rest of the marinade and let that cook for 2 or 3 minutes. Then we can slice the steak diagonally and just pop that in for really just a minute, just to get it coated in the marinade. There we are, done. Alright, here's my fajita. I was probably wrong about the peppers. I could have used a lot more of these. Let's put some raw ones in, that'd be nice. And some of the salsa stuff. And some crispy lettuce. Sour cream and grated cheese. This is going to be sloppy. I am wearing a pinny. You want to warm your flour tortillas if you live in the frozen north. Well, that is yummy. That is it's packed with lots of different flavours and textures, and it's such a contrast to the classic French beigeness that I've been doing the last few months. Kind of hard to believe this was invented by cowboys, but there you go. Anyway, it's fabulous. Give it a go. Thanks for watching. See you next time.